Hello and welcome to the Quality of Life podcast, hosted by me, Raha Patel. I was the youngest Arab and the first young woman to climb Everest and the Seven Summits. And today we're meeting Radha. Radha Patel helps entrepreneurs stop overthinking and start showing up online in a way that grows their business and income. She knows what it's like to hold back, overthink, and stay stuck when deep down you know you're meant for more. So her goal is to help people stop hiding, simplify their message, and turn their presence into profit. Radha, thank you so much for being part of a Quality of Life podcast. I'm so happy to have you.
Hi, Raha. Thank you for having me.
Before I start, what does Radha mean?
Radha
Beautiful.
is the name of an Indian goddess.
Oh,
Yeah, she represents divine love.
I love it. So beautiful. So it's Radha.
Yes.
Radha. I love it. I love when I hear because my name is pretty unknown. So when I hear a name that's unique, I like to keep it to memory. Radha, it's a tradition in our podcast to ask our guests, what does quality of life mean to you? So I'll start with that question.
For me, I think quality of life means the ability to have freedom in everything I do, where I go, and to be at peace while I do all of that, to be at peace in my life.
Can you explain what you mean by peace?
So I said peace instead of happiness because I think happiness is elusive, something we can chase.
And it's not a state of it's not a state that you stay in for a long time. That would be delirium, right?
Yes, exactly.
So why peace? How do you define that?
Peace because I feel like I'm at a place of peace right now in my life, and I just always want to stay this way. Like, I know where I'm going, and I'm present to everything that's happening, whether it's good or bad. I know everything is for my highest good. And that it gives me a sense of peace just to know that everything is in my control. And actually, in a sense, it gives me freedom, which is what I want as my quality of life.
It's a very interesting approach to it. Um, I'm very close to my family, and they've definitely been a huge impact on me. They've been for thick or thin, like good and bad, right? In terms of how much they've affected me and how much they've helped me along the way. So, who are the people that have helped you along your journey?
Also, my family, they have always been there through thick and thin. I think it's something I value strongly. My parents are the reason I'm here today.
MashaAllah.
They everything they have done is to give me the best life ever, to give me opportunities. I don't want to cry.
No, it's okay. It's a safe space. If you want to take a break, we can, but it's okay. Like, it's sweet to see this reaction. So nice. You clearly see how much they mean to you. You can clearly see it.
Yeah. I
Are
mean,
they still with us?
yes,
Alhamdulillah.
they
MashaAllah.
are.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm here today in Dubai doing what I get to do because they're giving me the grace and the support and all of support and grace to do what I want, to explore what I want, and they believe in me. Maybe they don't understand, but they're there.
You can keep it next to you. Yeah. And I love how you're vulnerable in expressing this because they are a big part of who we are. They're a massive impact on who we are. And not all of us get to have the privilege and the honor of having parents that help and support, right? So I see it. I can see it in how you responded when I asked you. They're very special to me as well. In addition to family, in addition to people, what has inspired you other than that? Like a book that you'd like to share that has really shaped you and changed you?
Oh, there's not a single book that has inspired me or shaped me. However, there are all the entrepreneurs who do inspire me by going after what they want and not all of them necessarily come from privilege. It's about a mindset. And I think everything comes to mindset. If you believe you can do it, and you're willing to put in what's necessary, then you're going to achieve what you want. And I think that shapes me. And seeing all the people who have done it that way, it makes me believe if they can do it, why not me? You know, we're all
There's
the
definitely
same.
power in seeing an example or a role model. Absolutely. Like I remember growing up, I didn't see adventurers that were like me, that were Saudi or Arab women going and seeing the world. That didn't exist. Like I used to watch TV shows that were not, they were usually men and they were usually not of ethnic background. So I never had that. But when I started to grow up and started to see more examples, or now if I can say in my journey, young ladies started to tell me, you know, you've inspired me. It really helps to see someone do it to get inspired. So it's not necessarily a book or something. It's a person that has done something that comes from similar background that helps inspire you.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I guess in a similar respect, I also have lots of people, especially from my hometown. So I grew up in Zambia, and lots of people from my hometown will message me and say, wow, you live such a cool life. I'm living vicariously through you.
That's sweet.
And it's sweet, but my immediate thoughts are, you can have
You
it
can
too.
too. You
Yes,
can have it too.
exactly.
Yeah. And I've been to Zambia, by the way.
Ooh,
Yes. I loved it.
beautiful.
Stunning.
Did you go to Victoria Falls?
Of course. I went to
Okay.
Victoria Falls. I did the whole, you know, all of the typical touristy things. But my favorite was definitely the people.
Yes.
The people, they're so friendly and so sweet and very kind and very warm. I really had a great time in the trip.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Oh, I would go again in a heartbeat. It's really, really
Yeah,
beautiful.
nobody ever expects that when I talk about Zambia. I always get this surprised reaction.
I've been twice, and the first time I went was like, yeah, maybe it's a fluke. The second time I went, I'm like, no, this is how the people are.
Yes,
They're nice people.
very friendly.
Yeah, very friendly and giving. They're very giving with their time, with their patience. They're very, very sweet. I loved
Yeah.
it. I can talk about travel forever, especially places that I love. But I wanted our listeners to get to know you a little bit more. Can you run us through a typical day to day? Like, can you help us get to know you more through your day?
Oh, typical day to day. So
If there is a typical day to day.
I like there to be, but it's not always the same.
Yeah.
So a constant in my life is the gym. I love to go to the gym.
Okay.
It's my social time. It's where I get to push myself. I get to test my mindset and my limits, and it is my happy place. It's the one place I go to and I don't think about the drive or the commute. And when I come home from that, well, I'm sorry. I've switched things up a little bit
No,
in
go
my
ahead. Feel
routine.
comfortable.
And so right now I'm testing out a new routine. So
Okay.
I start out with meditation, visualization, and then I get into 4 hours of committed, focused work, which is whatever I'm working towards with my goals, either content, strategy, building my business, whatever that might be. And then gym is a constant. And the rest of the day, it can be for secondary important things or socializing. Dubai is such a cool country that I always have visitors. They're coming week by week. So sometimes it's, attending to family or friends or whatever
It's
that
cool
is.
because you always have guests, and then if
Exactly.
you miss home, you go. It's not very far. Yeah.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah. So there's a few standards and then it's a little mixed.
It's beautiful. Being a bit flowy is okay, as if that's the thing that works for you. But I do believe you must have a constant that gets your energy out of your system, which is a sport, in my humble opinion, whether it's a gym or a sport or something, something that can get your mind and your body moving so that you can have good night's sleep. At least one thing, like at least an hour if you can. If you're busy, an hour a day would be good. Let's go to imagine you had a tough day. You had a rough day. Everything is, stressed and you're not feeling well. What do you do? What's your go-to? What's Radhat's, magic or the thing that you do to just relax and ground yourself?
I love to have a bath. I will run.
You're the second guest to say that.
It's so peaceful. You
I
just
haven't
sit
had a bath
there.
in a while. I mean, I shower obviously, but I haven't had like a bath where you sit and you like unwind in hot water, right? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, go on, go on.
Yeah, so I love to have a bath. I think it just makes me feel good, and then it really just relaxes me so that I can go to bed. Whatever the day has been, I can relax and go to bed, and tomorrow's a new day.
What's the most important thing in the bath? What's the most important thing for the bath to be a good one?
Oh, so because I train hard, I like to put Epsom salts in the
Okay,
bath,
nice.
and I put lavender essential oil.
That's nice.
It's-
I've tried that once.
Yeah, it's perfect before bed. It really gets you in a calm state.
What's a tip you'd give someone who is not a bath person? What's something that you would suggest?
If they've had a bad day,
Okay.
if they want to shift their state, shifting your state, I think it's magical. I would play happy music, whatever your favorite song is that's different. It's immediately going to shift you from a sad mindset to a happy mindset. And I also like to go on walks. Walks
Okay.
are really peaceful, either, with headphones or without. Without headphones are for brainstorming for me. And
I love walks. They're an essential part of my life. I have 2 dogs. One is 6 months, so walking is a must.
amazing.
But I do enjoy it. I've grown to enjoy that time.
What kind of dogs do you have?
I have German Shepherds. I have a
Oh.
6-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Very cute.
God
Now they're
help us.
friends.
They are, yeah, but they're just a little bit different in their needs.
Yeah.
And I love walking. So now I have a companion. Like I
Okay.
have someone to help me walk, and just the commitment of having a dog pushes you to actually do the walk, even if you don't feel like it. So you don't
Yes.
have a choice; you must walk. But also, I like audiobooks. So when I put an audiobook in one ear, I feel like the time goes past faster. But yeah, you really made me miss a proper bath. I'm gonna try to consider that next the next time I have a rough day.
Yeah, try it out. I hope
With
it won't
lavender oil.
disappoint.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah. You reminded me of something when you said about your dogs. They kind of keep you committed to
Commitment.
taking them out, and it doesn't bother you because you're doing it for them. And I think that's also important in work
Yeah,
or the business that you're
the
running.
ethics of the job you do.
Exactly. When you come from and especially in the work I do as an expression coach, people get stuck because they're thinking about themselves. How do I look? Do I look stiff? Am I communicating well? Or is this going to land? Is this going to go viral? But when you come from a place of, I'm doing this in service of another, I'm doing this because what I'm saying is going to better the other person or make their life better or make them more money, then
For myself.
yes,
Yeah.
you shift the attention from yourself.
Have you noticed how women, well, I'm sure everyone noticed, women tend to do things more readily when they're for others, but not for themselves?
Yes.
So one of the best advice I ever got was I was stressed out. I was running around and, I was not feeling well. And then a friend of mine said, I have a friend who's going through the same thing and I don't know what to do, blah, blah. And I was giving advice to that friend. And then my friend's like, you're the friend. Do you see, she tricked
Wow.
me. She pretended like she was asking advice for another friend who's going through the same thing I was going through. And then she's like, Raha, I have no other friend that's going through this. You're going through this, exactly what you just said. And I said simple things like they need to relax, they need to, have some me time, have time for themselves. And she's like, yeah, you're the friend.
She
Tricked me.
Yeah,
She tricked me.
reverse
She tricked me. And I was
psychology.
like, why do I not do this for myself? And now I started to say, if I'm sick, imagine that sick Raha is sitting in a corner and good Raha is sitting on the upper side of the room. What would healthy Raha do for sick Raha if she was a friend? And then I started to realize I need to be kinder to myself. I need to be more giving to myself. We really forget that.
We do.
Yeah. I have a tendency of forgetting that.
It comes down to that saying people have. It's like, what would you tell your best friend if they were going through this?
Exactly.
And apply it to yourself.
Yourself.
Are you filling up your cup more now?
I'm in a very weird phase of my life now where I'm transitioning. Like I used to be like like a racehorse. I went from being a racehorse to a pasture horse. And now I'm like, I like not having that speed,
Yeah.
but I'm bored of not having, like, I'm going through this very weird dilemma
Yeah.
of I went from high speed, like work to a bit more, well, a lot more relaxed. I like it, but in the same time, there are days where I think, who am I? Like, I'm bored. This is,
Yeah.
I need to do something. I need to shoot. I need to work. And it's not healthy because I feel guilty for sitting and not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally finished series that I haven't I've been wanting to finish for the last decade that I finished in the last few months because I'm going through this transition phase of calming down in my life. Well, calming down, I say calming down because it's calm for me, but for the average person is really not. So I have this weird dilemma I'm going through. So I wouldn't say my cup is completely full because I've kind of lost, well, not lost, trying to find the new purpose, but I'm definitely not empty cup.
Okay.
Definitely, I'm not there.
That's good.
I was last year when I burnt out, but now it's filling up. I just don't know what I want to do next.
You're figuring it out. It's
I'm
a part
figuring
of
it
the
out.
journey.
Yeah.
That's-
But again, someone told me, Raha, just sit. Just like, I had a friend of mine, she's like, Raha, just enjoy.
Yeah.
I still work, obviously. But I feel like if I'm not doing 6 things in the same time,
Bored.
nah, I'm not doing anything. So I'm going through it. Good question. I love it. I'm going through it. I'm trying to figure it out.
Maybe you can, if I can suggest something, you can
Please.
just pick one thing that you can do every day, even if it's a small thing.
I do one thing. Like I go through emails, I go through my socials.
Raha!
What?
That is not filling up your cup.
Oh, you mean for myself?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get the question. No, I do. The
Okay.
walk,
Okay,
the walk with the little demon and
Yes.
the older doggy is my thing. And I love audiobooks. So
Okay.
I love literally sitting down on my comfy couch, listening to audiobooks, doing a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like it soothes me.
Yeah.
Like I sit there, I have audiobook on and I do a puzzle on my phone. That really calms me down. So I
Okay.
do that sometimes.
Okay.
I thought you meant the other way around, but yeah, I do that sometimes.
Balance.
But still, I still feel like I'm floating.
Okay.
And I don't like that. We'll see with time. We'll give it time. I love to take a moment for a little bit of me time. And right now, let's take a quick break to say a huge thank you to London Dairy for their support of this series of the Quality of Life podcast. Because London Dairy ice cream is all about giving us little moments of joy and relaxation. If you would like to know more, check out the link in the show notes. Now let's get back to the show. I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy or a whiner. I'm not. I'm happy. I'm happy. I just feel a little bit trying to figure out, and I think that's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Trying to know what your purpose is not a given. You have to actually actively look for some, like, you can't just go through life floating. You have to have something that helps ground you and helps keep you like motivated and excited, even if it's simple things. It doesn't have to be big, like life change. It can be simple things. It can be learning a language, or in my case, trying to finish like a really long book series, for example. But that's just part of the journey, and it's not a challenge. It's just a phase. But speaking of challenges, I'm sure you've went through that in your journey, and I'm sure you've had challenges. So can you talk to us as honestly as you want about the challenges you've faced in your journey? You can pick whatever challenge you think is the definitive challenge, and what's the lesson you got out of it? What's the thing you want people to learn from that challenge?
A couple of things, a couple of thoughts. The first is that I think you can have multiple purposes in your life. We all put so much pressure on ourselves. I think maybe because of social media, and it's that, oh, I have to have one big purpose in my life. What is it? But I think at different phases of your life, you have a
Absolutely.
different purpose.
You're not the same person.
Exactly. You're evolving as humans are meant to. And that is the beauty about being in the space of, I don't know yet. You get to discover and evolve and figure that out. And about I think maybe a defining challenge that would be significant for me is I followed the path that society puts out for you. I went to school, I studied engineering, not by my own choice, but uh, my parents chose that path for me, and
What did you study?
I studied structural engineering.
Oh, wow. That's a U-turn. Like that's a, like you went from structural engineering to completely out of the box, huh?
Yes,
I
exactly.
love it though.
Yeah, so I guess the message is I followed that path that was put out for me that society tells you need to do. Go to
You
school,
tick
get
the
the
box.
job. Yeah, exactly. You tick all the boxes, and then you start to think, what is my purpose?
Mm.
Or what is this? Is this where I want to be in 10 years? And that for me, it felt like my quarter life crisis. I was like, what am I doing?
Mm.
And when I spoke to people around me about it, they were like, you're crazy. There's no such thing as quarter life crisis. But it was
No,
more
I
of
believe
just,
in yeah.
yeah, exactly. I was
There's
just,
any life crisis, you can it trigger something triggers you to go through it.
exactly. It didn't make sense.
Mm.
Um, but that difficulty, that dark point of thinking this can't be it, has led me here. It gave me the courage and the confidence to follow my own path, to know that I want to do something different, and that contributes to my quality of life, right? The courage to make the decisions that are for my well-being
Mhm.
and not what is paved out for me.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that dark point of being put in a box that wasn't mine, I get to be here and I get to do what I love and I get to help people to find their voice. And when I started, I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Mm.
I was confused, but that's part of the journey. Just stop focusing on the end goal, because actually in life there is no end goal, it's only the next step. And if you can just focus on what is the absolute next thing that's going to move me in the direction of my dreams, then you're moving in the right direction.
So beautiful. I want you to talk about more about what you do because it's so unique. Like you help people find their voice or their style online and you give them more confidence. Can you
Mm-hmm.
talk to us a little bit more about what you do? And what's the biggest misconception people have about it?
That's a good question.
Thanks.
Mm. So I help entrepreneurs or aspiring creators to show up online confidently so that they can experience the freedom that comes with having a brand and a presence, and ultimately that leads to wealth opportunities, collaboration opportunities, and things that are going to give them a better quality of life.
Mm.
And the biggest misconception that I would think people experience is that it's easy. It's easy to show up and just speak your
It's
truth and
absolutely
your
not.
voice. But if it were so easy, everyone would be doing it.
Radha, I've been doing this for a decade now. I still get jitters.
Of course.
Before every interview, every podcast, every TV appearance, I still get jitters.
Yeah.
They think it's a given.
Mm.
Another misconception, if I can add, tell me if you agree. They believe it's something you have or you don't.
Absolutely.
And it's not the case. It's a skill that
Mhm.
you can hone and you can, with time. Someone who has charisma can be born with charisma, but not a really good storytelling style or speaking style. You can
Mhm.
have charisma, but if you don't have the ability to speak, like, and hold an audience, then the charisma means nothing. And vice versa. You can have not a lot of charisma, but learn how to speak very well or have that presence and cadence that's very attractive. And you'll be more attractive than the person that has charisma. It's not a formula that's like cut and paste for everybody. It's a skill. Like any skill you can learn.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like it's not just like, oh, I can't. It's difficult.
Mhm.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very vulnerable. But you can absolutely change it. You can absolutely improve it.
100% I agree
Yeah.
completely.
It's not just like, you know, I don't know why people think it's not like anything else. It's like sports, or it's like
And the other one, if I can add, is they
absolute
think,
odd.
oh, you're just good at it naturally.
Yeah.
No, it's a
No.
muscle
Yes.
that you have to build, and you have to be willing to suck at it at first before you get good. If you're not willing to suck, then you're playing a different game.
Nothing irks me more when someone says, "Yeah, Raha, but you're naturally good at it." I need to show you. It's on my social media. The video of me and my siblings doing the shows we used to do. My mom used to make us have shows in my house when I was little. Proper shows with lights and with like a curtain and whatever. My sister was always the main diva. My brother was like the really cool dancer and like a court gesture and like joker. I was lights and camera and sound. Like I was rarely in the stage. I was always put as like, if my cousin was sick and can't do the side dancing in the background, I would be put in last minute because we need someone on stage. But I was never that as a child. I was a wallflower. I was never like the main my sister was, my brother were till this day. When I'm around, when I'm in the room with these two, I'm literally a fly on the wall. I'm just like, I scribble. But I had to learn as a young athlete back in the day when I had no PR representative and I had no the money to pay someone to speak for me. I had to learn how to speak for myself. And then I was brave enough, and I hated it. I hated it. I don't do it anymore. I used to watch my interviews and stuff to fix my speaking way and my cadence and my enunciation and my use of words, because I didn't like how I kept using filler words, and I kept improving. And this is 10 years of training.
Yeah.
So you can absolutely learn it. Absolutely.
For sure. What doors do you think learning this skill has opened for you?
Oh my God. You actually saw the question right out of the prompter. You didn't even see it, but the question was the correlation between self-expression and business success. It helped me success in my business, whether it's as a speaker or as a brand representative, or just as a Saudi representative. Even when I was invited to go to other places and represent Saudi Arabia, it helped me a lot. Being able to know how to speak, being able to know what to say under pressure, because I was interviewed a lot over the years. It really opened so many doors. It gave me also the confidence to raise my voice when I felt I needed to. Before, I used to be very shy and very like, I didn't want to be public or whatever. But then I realized that it's a power.
Yeah.
You can use it for your advantage. It's not negative. I don't have to hide. I can speak for myself, but I just had to take a few years of learning. But it opened so many doors for me. I think I wouldn't have had my career or the resume I had with all the brands I've very fortunately worked with, and it doesn't fall past my appreciation how lucky I am. But I also worked for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't just an athlete that did something and disappeared like many other athletes, and it's their right. But it really put me on the map, and it helped me kind of solidify and have a career in media.
Yeah.
Sports is amazing, but it's, unless you're doing one of those sports that isn't very physically demanding, like for example, darts. Even darts hurts your wrist at some point. But like, you can't do sports forever, but you can do media for longer.
Yes.
So absolutely, it opened so many doors in my career being a public person and a speaker. I never imagined.
I mean, look at you now.
Yeah, I really have to find my old videos for people to believe me. I never in a million years thought I would be a public person. But I love it. But I think, if I can say, the thing that helped me in the journey is my love of people. I like people. I like meeting people. I like hearing stories.
Yeah.
I like meeting people. Even though I'm an omnivore, a bit of a mix, I like learning from people. And that has been always the underlying, passion.
It's connection.
Yeah.
That's
to
what
meet
it
and
gives
to
you.
learn. And,
Yeah.
because I always felt like, thankfully now not the case. Maybe it's the same with you. People didn't understand where I was from in the beginning. Like when I told them I'm from Saudi, it was always like, now with everything happening, mashallah, Saudi is really well known. But back then,
Yeah.
people didn't get it. So I really wanted to hear their story and for them to hear mine.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a key part of what you said is you were ready to be seen, to be visible. And that is the
I wasn't ready. I needed to. I needed
but
to.
you took the leap.
It was survival. I
Yeah.
needed to.
Okay.
Here's the honest truth. After I finished climbing, I was so broke.
Mm.
I put all my money in climbing, and I didn't have enough money to, you know, move on in life. But I started getting gigs for media.
Okay.
So it was survival.
Okay.
So I had to. And then I realized that I like it with time. Yeah, I never thought.
I love how the dots are connecting because you started with my mom used to make us present when we were kids in our house.
Shows.
Yeah.
Radha shows with like opening the no like the tapes were like the Disney movies of the year or whatever, and then we had to act out and yeah, full on.
Oh wow.
And I hated it. You should see me in the video. I'm like, very shriveled up in the corner. Yeah, I hated it.
I mean, you were put in that position, but you had to start somewhere, right? Like you wouldn't be here if you didn't
No.
start there.
I don't think I would be. Had it not been for sports, I don't think I would have reached media.
What was your sport?
So I used to be a mountain climber.
Okay.
I mean, I still climb. I hate saying used to be. I still climb.
Yeah.
I just don't do the crazy 2-3 month climbing thing without shower anymore.
Yeah.
Unless someone wants to sponsor it, unless there's a sponsor who wants me to go back, then I'll go back with a mic and a camera and I'll let you come with me on the journey. But I randomly became an athlete, and then because I was the first from my country, people wanted to know the story, and that's how I was pushed into media. Like it was not a plan. Yeah. And I also still play, but also semi-professional. I played beach volleyball for Saudi.
Okay.
So yeah, sports has definitely been the biggest driver of my life.
Amazing.
Very random.
And it probably has shaped your mindset with your grit to go on to try new things, to do everything.
Yes. Good and bad. Good in the sense that I'm not afraid to try new things. Bad in the sense that right before COVID, I get a call, for example, saying, Raha, listen, we're doing a documentary in Saudi, blah, blah, blah. We want you to be the host. It's about paramotoring in Saudi. I'm like, yeah, great. Yeah, sure. Ooh, yeah, paramotoring, amazing. Yeah, let's go on. And then I get signed, I get booked, and they're like, yes, now you need to go learn how to paramotor. And I didn't realize I was going to be the one flying the paramotor. I thought I was going to sit down and someone flies it. And they're like, no. You need to get your pilot's license. And I learned how to fly a paramotor for this documentary.
Wow.
Can you believe it? And I didn't even know. I had to Google what a paramotor was after the call. And I'm like, what did I get myself into?
I was actually just about to ask you, what is that?
So basically, it's like paragliding.
Yeah.
But with a motor on your back.
So you're not sitting in anything?
You're sitting.
Yeah.
You're sitting. Same thing as paragliding, which is like you have the wing, same thing, but you're carrying on your back a motor, like a propeller.
Oh. So if you don't have the motor on your back.
It's paragliding.
Oh.
And then if you have a motor, it's paramotor.
Okay.
And you need to do the course for paragliding and then paramotor. So you had to do this too. And I haven't done anything. So in the span of I don't know how many months, I went from Googling what is paramotor to the instructor being like, okay, it's the third week. You see that hill, climb up it and we're going to chuck you off. And if you land in the area that we think you land, then we'll take you to the next step. Literally, they took me off the middle of the hill and chucked me off. So I like that I have that sense of, yay, let's do it. But come on, like sometimes I need to be like, Raha, hold on. But it's led me, this kind of love and insatiable appetite to go and explore has led me to really awesome things. Really, 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 really cool things. What's the advice you'd give me? I have one more set of questions to ask you, but before we wrap up, I love what you do. What's the advice you'd give me if actually I'm asking you honestly, what advice you'd give me to help me improve my media and my my presence, because I like to learn.
Well,
I love how she's really, really thinking
are
about it.
already you seem to be an expert in the space
you're so
of
cute.
media
No,
presence.
give me an advice you'd like anyone to learn about this.
Start small. If you're afraid, well, let me go back to the reason you think you don't want to show up. There's a lot of people who think that, no, I value my privacy, so I don't want to show up. But actually, it's a nervous system problem. It's not really that you don't want to be seen. You're just not safe in your nervous system to be seen. And so, if people can address the fear or the shame, it's usually fear of judgment. What are people going to think of me? And so, they don't want to show up in the camera. And so, then they miss out on opportunities to connect. Like the way I connected with you today was because of my presence.
Because you had the courage to come.
Exactly. And so for anybody thinking to start, I would say start small. Start as if you're talking to a friend. Share 15 seconds of your favorite fact and do it like you're talking to a friend. So maybe the advice that I would share is, don't be so formal. People just want to connect. It's all about human connection.
Don't be too serious. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Most people who are sitting in the audience are terrified too.
Yes, they are. And also, if you were to be, I mean, like you said earlier, you still get jitters before you go on stage
Every
or before you
single
present.
time. I got jitters right now when I sat with you, when I was looking at the camera and looking at myself. Every time.
Yeah, every time. And it's not like the people sitting here don't experience those feelings like anxiety and fear. It's just that they have a toolbox of things to handle those feelings because you're human.
Yeah.
So it's about learning the skills and the tools to manage those emotions so that you can show up anyway and live your best life.
I love that, Radha. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that advice. If people want to know more about you, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram. My handle is the Radha Patel. I think it will be in the description.
Fabulous. Before I let you go, here is a round of questions. Answer the first question that comes to mind, like they're like bullet questions.
Okay.
A word or 2 words.
Mm.
Just don't think too much about it. Just have fun with it. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Radha, if you're a fruit, what would you be?
Passion fruit.
Oh, I like it, because you have a lot of passion. Okay. Mountains or beaches?
Both.
Beach near a mountain?
Yes, beach near mountain.
I'll give you that. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Okay. I'm the same. Not in Ramadan, but I'm the same. What's your biggest fear?
Not meeting my own highest potential.
That's a good one. That's a real one. What word defines you?
Happiness.
Yeah, that's good. Joy. I would say joy. Very,
Joy,
very beautiful. You have such a lovely energy, and I would completely agree that it's joy or happiness. Introvert or extrovert?
Borderline. I'm both.
I'm going to use this word because I learned about it. Omnivert.
Omnivert.
Someone told me I'm omnivert. What's your mantra?
I can do anything I put my mind to.
Absolutely. What's your superpower?
It is, I think it's my energy. I don't really know how to explain it, but people around me, they seem to be happy and they always tell me about it. I don't know what it is. So
I think I know what it is. Has anyone told you you're a sympath?
No.
And an empath?
Ooh.
Google it.
Okay.
So an empath is someone that feels others' energy. A sympath is someone that exudes. So empath, sympath.
Oh.
I'm butchering maybe one of them, but I think you're one of them. Awesome. Either way. A guilty pleasure?
Sweet items.
Really?
Yes.
What's your favorite sweet one?
I don't have a favorite item, but I love to bake. So I will bake and eat it.
Would love to try some of that. Final question. If you wrote an autobiography, what would the title of the book be?
The Mountain is Me.
I want to steal that so bad. No, it's beautiful. Radha, was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being part of our podcast. Before we wrap up and Radha starts her Sunday, I just wanted to take a moment to thank London Dairy for the support of this series of Quality of Life podcasts. Because London Dairy ice cream is all about giving us little moments of joy and relaxation. And if you want to have your own, please go to the show notes to find the link. See you on the next episode.